All right, coming back in. Coming back in. I got intimidated by the artwork I was doing. I felt like I had to do something really good. I had to do something really good, like, or else what, Or I'd, miss an opportunity to do so. But I'm like, that is never a healthy creative space to be in. So refining the practice exercises, trying to make a series of movements that activates all muscles and then also activates the artist's mindset. So you kind of just draw things in here. We're gonna draw rocks, and if you draw rocks within this grid, before you know it, you're making this dimensional space and you're bringing lighting and shape into it while you're using gestural muscles and structural mindset. Because while you're just kind of scribbling and drawing rocks, you're mixing straight angles with like scribbly movement. You create this space. And then even if you want to draw like a little figure, and like a dog, they're like staring out, and then there's like a beach in the distance or something. Any of these rocky desert landscapes is a good place to start in like under a minute, just while you're activating your muscles. And then we started drawing hide. This is like, like old Masta hide for like now. We're trying to update and bring the Larkin CL style to a more like aged, samurai master, but he's still got the full hide spirit. It's done nothing but continue to grow over time. It's amazing how much they still got. I think Larkin CL might have officially disbanded and only does shows together sometimes. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm sure everyone would get behind another, like, even if a smaller world tour, like new stuff. They're still making new content. I made the theme song to the new like Resident Evil game. You can check that out. For sure. Just using some of the vampire pirate streetwear punk rock, awesome, timeless anime hero. Just like legendary swagger. And we're taking a minute to just do some pencil rendering and some design. We could do some design. Like, this is just one of his outfits, right? This is definitely like just an outfit that Hyde rocks on stage. We're gathering the silhouette and the movement to try and be able to reference those things quickly while doing other types of designs. And these are pretty basic. But when you have this, you can like, okay, what if there was like a badass, like, Gothic mandala or something, We'll go with the Gothic mandala here. In like, I don't know, instead of being a cloth coat, it was like some embroidered leather or something of the finest quality. Pretty cool. And then you can go in and add positively and negatively if you want to make a surface that is shiny. You can go back in and play with your textures and your fabrics, which is very fun. If you want some help with that, you could always reference Death Stranding. Amazing variety of textures of fabric, and actually like artists like detailing leather and cloth and fabrics, and then reference Death Stranding, some of like Ahmed Alduri's amazing graphite workmanship. That is my style anyways. Finding whatever teacher, whatever language, whatever style works for you is key. I love the way Josh Waitzkin did that in The Art of Learning. So as we teach art, we want to also teach how you can build your own curriculum. Like, you don't have to go with our style, but we can highlight different styles and what they're doing. And then through that diversity, hopefully you will find things that do resonate with you, even if it's a piece from here, a piece from here, a piece from here. And then we'll try and strip down our foundational series into the most kind of, generic is, a lot of people call it a bad word, but, like if something is generic, it's like not good. But it just means it's general, it's general, it appeals to a lot of people. All right, so we'll do a kind of skull face design, yeah? Then try and maybe have it like a bunch of rhinestones that make this skull. I doubt it's going to read as a skull. if we do that. And then maybe the rhinestones are patterned into the skull. And then for the pants, you know, like kanji or something, like Japanese kanji. So 3 different types of patterning. And in those 3 types of patterning, you could do lots of different things. Like flowers on leather always looks cool. Every time I see floral leather, I wish there was more of it. You know, like every time, I don't know, like a saddle or a wallet or something, and it's like flowers carved into leather, black on black. Nice. I love it. I love it so much. Same with like rhinestone art. I really like rhinestone art. When you see like cloth with you know, high quality rhinestones, like making some kind of a pattern, also black on black. Very, very cool. So it's an updated, modernized version of a classic hide outfit. And then, you know, we go in and do reference and detail and whatnot. Here, we'll do a different one now that we've got warmed up again. Some Pinterest craziness. Getting into the alignment and flow of it. I'm amazed at the luck of the draw that we've had. We won't talk about it here so we can go in depth and do the whole story. I'm just not sure who to contact with it. Who wouldn't be like, man, like I could contact spiritual people like Vishen Lakhiani or Montias De Stefano. You know, I won't talk about things that I could do. Instead, I'll just think it out, be intuitive, try and make the best choice and do it. You know, that's the move, I think. All right, I don't know about like classic hide poses. Let's see. Badass bandana. So I've been rocking some hella bandanas. Like an open shirt. I love thumbnailing and the speed that you can work with. Like shirt that goes down into a kind of belt cape. Some like padding on the pants. Just a series of padded leather strips up either side. That's cool. I don't think I've ever seen something exactly like that. And when you look at a whole bunch of clothes, you can start to imagine in high fashion materials, right? Like you're making a blueprint and you're imagining the talent that you could add to that, which is something that you do as a director. You know, we reference Quentin Tarantino's legendary quote often, that your job as a director is to hold a vision of something, and you can hire on people that have all the skills and the talents to do every single thing to bring that vision to life. If the vision is good and you can communicate that vision to others and you have faith in the vision, you believe in it and like get it made, then, you know, you're the director. And if it turns out to be successful, if it turns out to be wildly successful, you know, you can continue being a director to continue bring your dreams to life. And that's awesome. So we try to do that in everything that we do, in every way, to imagine the project further. If it was a grand collaboration and the idea was good, what collaborative opportunities would really make the project flourish, you know? Maybe I'll film some videos. I haven't had any luck of like response in the videos that I've filmed. And I'm like, I think some of them are really good. And I don't want to lose confidence, but I'm like, what am I gonna like just make like hundreds of these things? But it's good if you can do something timely, and it's not like, oh, a couple months ago I had some great inspiration, you know? And it's like, yeah, your inspiration a couple months ago, but we want something present. We want something right now, you know, present moment. Let's see, something like, I need to like actually look up some kanji references. You can't just like, you know, here, we can look up some kanji references now. The kanji is just like I mean, some kanji would be legible, some like not. But you can get the shapes down more, which is good. Yeah, it's the first symbol in Ikigai. Love asymmetry. What would even look good with that? If you have a pattern that's really dynamic, the other thing should be like unpatterned, and then you should do something like textural. There are no rules of fashion, and breaking of rules in fashion is always something that's seen as cool, as long as you keep enough things or it doesn't go full abstract. I mean, I'm always thinking of fashion as like something that you'd actually wear. When building boards on Pinterest, I kind of got into like what is actually runway fashion, and you're using it to create an image, a symbol, like a exaggerated form of some of the iconography that you're using in your streetwear series or for like high parties. Some of it like isn't for parties though, and it's like costume stuff of the highest quality for show to represent the brand in like an art sense. So it's an act of art that, you know, and then they have more like things that you could wear in reasonable, you know, situations. I mean, they'll have an outfit that'd be like made of tires, you know, tires and garbage bags and something. We'll have to go through and just make a collection. Again, I have to like reach out and get connections. I'm like, oh, it would be fun to go into my design stock board because I made the greatest collection of like high fashion stuff I'd ever seen after following it for years and years and years. I was like, okay, you know, I'm always trying to like create balance within my boards, so I like won't save too much of the same thing. Like, okay, 2 Alexander McQueen, that's good. We'll try and switch it up, go to Prada, see if they have anything complimentary. And then later I was like, okay, let's switch it up even further and go like backgrounds, like temples, churches, beautiful places in nature, animals, pieces of art, graffiti, modern art installations, statues, like mixing it sort of had like a great diversity of different types of complementary things that like cast they build perspective on each other. Like when you see the outfit or the person or the look with that combination of themes around them, it becomes striking and new, and you use your imagination to start putting them together, so it's creative. I love that. I like this sleeve. I like yeah, I like complex leather sleeves and such. Very, very cool. Okay, let's try and like update Pirate Hide over here. I'll just do this really quick. We don't have to go too quick. It's fun to take a little bit of time, but I would at least like to continue being productive, practicing, being studious. We need to draw some Digimon, going through and drawing creatures from like Final Fantasy, drawing creatures from different games, drawing animals, and listening to the classic Feng Zhu talk of like, you know, you should take the base elements and then make those into creatures. So after learning how to design creatures by referencing Final Fantasy and maybe making some of them different, then you go into animals and you're like, oh, I can make its head into a dragon, or I can make the whole thing into a robot. You can do so many things. The power's in your hand. And then to go back in and like what makes Digimon, what clearly reads as Digimon, how can you switch it up, what things can you keep the same, what things can you remix. I love the art of the remix. Everything is the art of the remix. Okay, just like arms behind him. Bold bandana. Love oversized bandanas. It's the jam. Some Musashi Miyamoto hair, perhaps. Open shirt. It's hard not to go for like vests. Long shirt. Cool. Strips of padded leather. how that sells is leaving the side like unstripped and giving them all a little bit of dimensionality. Like there's a, you know, even if it's like a couple millimeters or whatever, there's a little bit of thickness on each of those, but it should be soft lambskin leather with like a nice G-star fit. Oh no, I know all about fashion stuff, and when I see stuff that I like, I'm like, ah. And as a dude that remixes everything, I'm like, oh, if that was a little bit more anime, Final Fantasy, but with those materials or with a different set of materials. Also a huge fan of film costume design. Nothing but awesome. Okay, maybe the long shirt. I love the long shirts. I like long gloves too, but we can't overuse all of our favorite things. Sometimes it's good to overuse your favorite things because then once you've used them all, you have to go to new places. You know, you have to go to new places and you're like, okay, what can I do that's different than all of these things? That brings new territory. Hard not to go for long coats. Long coats are exquisite, and our man hide just does them justice, you know? Keep going for floral things. Maybe like giant oversized floral print. I love giant oversized floral print. Let's see. I'm like a paisley type deal. Okay. Yeah, I feel like being bold and adventurous. Whoosh. So I'm rocking a goatee recently. Is the goatee too much? Of course it is not. Let's see some cloths. Chains? Nah, it's a little bit chaotic already. But the pants, really, really cool. The pants and the bold, oversized floral shirt. I mean, those things together would look awesome. I try to do that too. When you're like making a story or something, just think of like what elements together, no matter almost which way you did them, would be cool to see. Haven't you seen before? Would you be excited to see? Just like based on the synopsis, based on the very first impression, or like just the concept, what would actually get you to watch the thing or stick around for it? And then like, even if it failed, you learn something, you do something interesting. You can try again with what you've learned to make it better. Yeah. Try to be ambitious and win in concept when you can. Where, you know, you shoot for the stars, and even if you fail, you know, you hit the moon. Let's see. It'd be cool if we used a different material than leather for the boots. This looks like eye patch. Yeah, big boss. Give him a combat vest and like a sword type deal. tack vest. You saw some images of Hyde next to Snake from Metal Gear. Yeah, you kind of have to have a thigh strap. He's got a smoke and a, tranquilizer dart gun. And he's in a jungle area, It's a tropical military thing. This badass pirate gear. Yeah, with the big headband and the leather pants, you'd be on. Yeah, we'll do a Shinkawa stuff has very little perspective. It's almost like, not to say it has little perspective. He's got perfect perspective, but they're like a photograph, not like a comic book where the gun will be like, just about the size of the hand, even held like front forwards. Just a tiny bit of perspective, like no perspective, which is good because, it's like emulating a military photograph. I like the way they look. Because, well, that's not stylized. The rendering, the way they use colors and shapes and abstract brush effects to bring the form to life, give character to it, is very stylized. It's not like to make something stylized, you do one generic thing. There are so many ways you can bring things to life. Put your own spin on it. Do it in a new way. Okay. 7 like classic step forward. You have like the turn, stepping this way, looking that way. We should make a different pair of pants to match his military garb. Those are cool as hell though. Yeah, I want to do some fashion design for every aspect of design. It's like, I want to deep dive that, where you spend at least a week, maybe a couple weeks, and you spend the time that you need to get your best work out of it. It's just hard to know exactly what to prioritize when you're interested in so many things. It's okay. You make progress where you can and where you're at. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. Or no, like color this black. Sometimes you can get really good like shiny textures. When you can, it feels great. It looks like leathery and dimensional and perfect in just a few quick steps. The light is hitting it, bringing it to life.